Second phase of Vande Bharat mission to bring back stranded Indians begins today. 177 Indians are coming to Kochi from Dubai via special aircraft. INS Jalashwa is carrying 588 Indians also left for Kochi from Malé. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to hold a fourth press conference today under the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign to give further information in connection with the economic package announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the time of crisis. "24 migrant labourers killed and 38 injured in a truck collision in Uttar Pradesh's Auraiya district. President and Prime Minister expressed condolences over the truck accident. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath says will provide all possible relief to the victims and quick investigation of the accident. MHA asked states and union territories to ensure migrant workers do not have to walk back home and to take up the journey only in buses and Shramik special trains being run by the government. Active COVID-19 cases in India reach 53,035. Death toll reaches 2,752. 30,152 patients recover. US President Donald Trump announces that US stands with India and Prime Minister Narendra Modi and we will beat the invisible enemy together. Says the USA is cooperating with India on vaccine development. Global tally of confirmed COVID-19 cases goes over 45.43 lakh with over 3,03,000 deaths. Cases in Russia cross the 2,60,000 mark. Next to US, which is the highest COVID positive cases of 14.4 lakh. And in sports, two top divisions of the German Bundesliga return today, become the first major European soccer league to return after sports around the world shut down in mid-March. Namaskar, you're with the latest here on DD News and DD India. I'm Gautam Roy. Now, the second phase of Vande Bharat mission to bring back stranded Indians abroad began today. Under the Vande Bharat mission, Air India and its subsidiary Air India Express are operating flights to 32 countries till the 22nd of May to bring back stranded Indian nationals. During phase 2, about 30,000 Indians will be returning to India, which is almost double of the 14,800 Indians which was the target of evacuation in the first phase. Meanwhile, a special flight under the Vande Bharat mission carrying 177 distressed Indians from Dubai will leave for Kochi. 11 flights have been scheduled from the UAE under the Vande Bharat mission. From the Gulf countries, a total of 39 flights will take back thousands of distressed Indians back to the country in the times of this unprecedented pandemic. Only asymptomatic passengers will be allowed to board the flight.
We have put some medical crew also, so there are 2 doctors and 2 nurses also on board the flight to take care of any special need arising during the journey. So we wish them, all the travelers, a very best to them, and we are happy that we were able to accommodate all the requests, whatever in the best possible manner.
Today we have this flight to Kochi, in which there are lots of distressed people who are there. We have 75 pregnant ladies who are going on this flight. There was a lot of pressure from pregnant ladies who wanted to go back, so we thought that we should accommodate as much as possible in this particular flight. We also have flights coming on this week, total 11 flights that will be going this week from here to India, and we will try and accommodate as many distressed people as possible.
Meanwhile, under Samudra Setu operation, INS Jalashwa of Indian Navy has left Malé for Kochi with 588 Indian nationals. The ship is making its second trip back home from Maldives as part of Samudra Setu mission for evacuation of Indian nationals from foreign countries. The ship had earlier brought back 698 Indian nationals to Kochi last Sunday. Another ship, INS Magar, had reached Kochi with 202 Indian nationals. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will be holding her fourth press conference today under the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. The Finance Minister has already announced several measures in the last 3 days to boost the economy and bring relief to the people facing hardships due to the coronavirus outbreak in the country. In her first tranche, the Finance Minister had announced measures for relief and credit support related to businesses, especially micro, small and medium enterprises, to support Indian economy's fight against COVID-19. In her second set of announcements, the Finance Minister had announced short-term and long-term measures for supporting the poor, including migrants, farmers, small businesses and street vendors. She had also announced that the government will launch a scheme for migrant workers and urban poor to provide ease of living at affordable rent. The third set of announcements had taken care of the interests of the toiling annadata of the country, the farmers and those working in the fields. The sectors focused have been agriculture, fisheries, animal husbandry, bee culture, medicinal plants and supply chain. Now, 1 lakh crore rupees agricultural infrastructure fund announced as part of Atmanirbhar Bharat mission is a big reform towards rural employment. Unique products like saffron kesar of Kashmir and makhana of Bihar are few products which are in great demand globally. Last week, saffron of Kashmir had been given the GI tag. This delicious spice is grown mainly in Pulwama, Budgam, Kishtwar and Srinagar. The produce has the capacity to engage more than 50,000 people directly or indirectly. In other news, in Uttar Pradesh, at least 24 people have been killed and around 38 people seriously injured in a tragic incident after the truck they were travelling in collided with a bus standing near a dhaba at National Highway in Auraiya district. The incident took place early in the morning around 3:30 a.m. These people were migrant labourers travelling back to their home states from Rajasthan, while most of them were from Bihar, Jharkhand as well as West Bengal. The injured have been shifted to nearby hospitals. Police and health department are carrying out rescue operation and bringing relief to those who've been injured. Now, President Ram Nath Kovind, the Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have expressed grief over the road accident in Auraiya in Uttar Pradesh. In a tweet, the President said all necessary steps are being taken by the local administration to help the affected people. He expressed his condolences to the bereaved families and wished early recovery for the injured. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also offered his deepest condolences to the families of the migrant labourers. In a tweet, the PM said, "The road accident in Auraiya of Uttar Pradesh is very tragic. Relief work is underway. I express my grief and sorrow to the bereaved families. I also wish good health to the injured." And expressing grief over the tragic incident, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said that all possible relief will be provided to the victims. He also ordered for quick investigation in the entire incident. He also announced 2 lakh rupees compensation for the kin of the deceased, while 50,000 rupees will be given to those seriously injured. Moving on, in Jammu and Kashmir, security forces have arrested 5 terror associates of Lashkar-e-Taiba and also busted a terrorist hideout in Budgam. In a press release, Jammu and Kashmir police informed that the Budgam police along with CRPF have arrested the terrorist associates. Forces have also discovered a hideout being used by terrorists for shelter and incriminating materials. Huge cache of arms and ammunition has also been recovered from the place. During further investigation, 4 other terror associates involved in logistic support to the terrorists were also arrested. The police said the group was active in the area since the past few months, while a case has also been registered against them. Further investigation is underway. Ministry of Home Affairs has in fact written to all states and union territories to facilitate faster movement of stranded migrant workers to their native places through buses and Shramik special trains being run by the government specifically for this purpose. Highlighting the situation wherein migrant workers are working on the roads and on railway tracks, the MHA said that in such conditions, migrant workers should be appropriately counselled, taken to nearby shelters and provided with food, water and other things till they are facilitated to board the Shramik special trains or buses to their native places. States and union territories have also been asked to ensure that these migrant workers do not have to walk back home. The Ministry of Railways is running more than 100 Shramik special trains per day and is ready to arrange additional trains according to the requirement. People need to be made aware about these arrangements and counselled by states and union territory governments to not travel on foot when they can travel in buses or trains being specially run by the government to facilitate their journey. Let's now take a look at the latest update on COVID-19 across the country. In India, the total number of COVID-19 positive cases stands at 85,940 with 2,752 deaths. 53,035 active cases have been reported in the country so far, while a total of 30,152 people have been cured and discharged. Maharashtra remains the worst affected with 29,100 total confirmed cases, followed by Tamil Nadu, Gujarat as well as Delhi. Meanwhile, the global COVID-19 death toll has surpassed the 3 lakh mark, while the number of cases from across the world has crossed 45 lakh. According to the latest data, the global death toll stands at 3,07,486. The US currently accounts for the highest number of coronavirus deaths in the world, and this stands at 87,530, followed by UK in the second place. The other countries with over 20,000 deaths are Italy, France and Spain. US President Donald Trump has lauded Indian American scientists and researchers for their efforts in developing medicines and vaccines to treat coronavirus. Trump said that the US and India are cooperating to develop a vaccine for COVID-19. The US President also said US government is working with other countries to develop a coronavirus vaccine at an accelerated pace while preparing to distribute it once it's ready. Trump hopes that a COVID-19 vaccine would be available by the end of the year. He's also said that the US is looking forward to making the coronavirus vaccine available free of charge. The Director General of World Health Organization, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, has said that the scientists and researchers are working at breakneck speed to find solutions for COVID-19, while the pandemic can only be beaten with equitable distribution of medicines and vaccines. He said that traditional market models will not deliver at the scale needed to cover the entire globe, while the risk would still remain without global solidarity to overcome the virus. Speaking during the briefing in Geneva, Ghebreyesus urged the nations to invest in health as a way to minimize the impact of the future pandemics on lives as well as livelihoods. He also called on clinicians to understand a rare inflammatory syndrome similar to Kawasaki disease that has been reported in young children recently. Italy's government has signed a decree that will allow travel to and from the country from the 3rd of June as it moves to ease its coronavirus lockdown measures. It will also allow travel between the regions, which has so far been tightly restricted, from the same day. The move marks a major step in the country's efforts to reopen its economy after more than 2 months of lockdown. Italy has one of the highest death tolls in the world, but its infection rate has fallen sharply in recent days. More than 31,600 people have died with the virus in the country, the third highest figure behind the US and UK. Brazil's turmoil has worsened as within a month, the second health minister, Nelson Teich, has also resigned after President Jair Bolsonaro demanded an endorsement of risky anti-malaria drug to battle the COVID-19 outbreak. As the number of cases of the virus surged in the country, Brazilians banged pots while health workers expressed outrage over the resignation of health minister. Brazil has registered over 14,817 deaths from the pandemic, with the number of cases surpassing 2,18,220. Bangladesh on Friday reported the record single largest day increase of corona positive cases, taking the total number of infected people above 20,000 in the country. Addressing the media through a virtual briefing in Dhaka on Friday, the Additional Director General of the Directorate General of Health Services, Professor Nasima Sultana, said that 1,202 fresh corona positive cases were reported in the country over the last 24 hours since Thursday, taking the number of infected people to 20,065. During the same period, 14 people died due to coronavirus, taking the death toll in the country to 298 since the first case was detected on the 18th of March. Continuing with measures to control large gatherings, the district administration in Kishoreganj announced that there would be no Eid congregation at Shulakia, which holds Bangladesh's largest Eid congregation. It is for the first time in nearly 200 years that there will be no Eid congregation at Kishoreganj Shulakia ground. The Dubai Health Authority has launched a highly sophisticated mobile unit to conduct testing for COVID-19 in densely populated areas, especially labor camps. The testing bus will also be available to certain segments of society such as the elderly and people unable to visit health centers due to underlying medical conditions. The initiative was implemented in collaboration with the National Firefighting Manufacturing Company and Shield Me. It is equipped with internal and external isolation and sterilization systems. The advanced bus meets all regulations for protection of staff, medical professionals and people being screened. The screening capacity of the bus is 1,000 individuals per day. Norwegian Prime Minister Erna Solberg has said that the country is likely to keep travel restrictions in place till the 20th of August as it negotiates a path between restarting economic activity and preventing a new wave of coronavirus infections. The country has more than 8,219 confirmed cases of coronavirus and the number of deaths have surpassed 200. The Portuguese government plans to reopen its beaches on the 6th of June as it eases confinement measures put in place to contain the coronavirus outbreak. Prime Minister Antonio Costa has encouraged the public to download an app to know if the beaches are full or still have space before visiting them. The app will monitor the crowd on beaches with people's data. New rules will include to keep a distance of 1.5 meters between people, while sports activities with more than 2 people are prohibited. The Prime Minister also urged people to adhere to the measures by themselves. The country has already allowed smaller shops to open and has lifted travel restrictions on the 4th of May. However, Portugal has reported 28,583 confirmed coronavirus cases with 1,190 deaths so far. Now, as the lockdown eases in Azerbaijan, the country is set to allow cafes and restaurants to reopen in the capital Baku and other big cities starting this Monday. However, working hours and the number of customers will be restricted. The country currently has more than 2,980 confirmed cases of the coronavirus and 36 deaths. All eyes will be on Germany today when the Bundesliga becomes the first major European league to resume following football suspension due to pandemic. Stadiums this weekend will be limited to fewer than 215 people, including players, staff and journalists. Strict hygiene and social distancing practices will be observed, as with other regulations detailed in a 51-page medical plan that will guide match operations. And back home, the Central Board for Secondary Education will release the complete date sheet for the remaining board exams of class 10 and 12 today at 5 p.m. Union Human Resource Development Minister Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank in a tweet informed students. Nishank said in his tweet, "Attention students, releasing the date sheet for CBSE board exams for class 10 and 12 today at 5 p.m. Stay tuned for more details." The minister had earlier announced that the CBSE class 10 and 12 exams would be conducted between the 1st and the 15th of July. And that's all we have in this edition of news for the moment, but before we wrap up, we leave you with this song released by the Central Reserve Police Force on how the paramilitary force has played a vital role in the fight against coronavirus pandemic. Take a look and have a great day ahead.
संसार में फैला कोरोना है वायरस, बड़ा ही डरावना है। इससे जहां को बचाना है, सीआरपीएफ का कहना। देकर अपनी जान करेंगे हर मानव की रक्षा। पहुंचाएंगे जन जन को भारत सरकार की शिक्षा। कर रखना, खेल जोल से बच कर रहना, घर से नहीं निकलना। वतन पे आए कोई मुसीबत, अपनी जान लगाएंगे। दवा पानी और राशन को हम हर घर तक पहुंचाएंगे। डॉक्टर नर्सों की सेवा ने पूरा विश्व बचाया है। केंद्रीय रिजर्व पुलिस बल ने कंधे से कंधा मिलाया है। संसार में फैला कोरोना है वायरस, बड़ा ही डरावना है। इससे जहां को बचाना है, सीआरपीएफ का कहना। सीआरपीएफ का कहना।